I'm someone who's like, show me the money, show me the levels, right? And the bottom line is if you look at this chart, we're right up against this level. So as much as my heart wants to say, okay, Bitcoin race higher, as long as my gut says, oh, I hope it does, the charts are the ultimate arbiter of what I do, right? And right now we're still into resistance. It's all about probabilities. All right. So I know that's what you want to get out of me. You want that so bad. And I'm willing to give it to you when the charts tell me that it's there.
Hey guys, welcome back to Let's Talk Crypto. The recent banking crisis caused investors to rethink their wealth allocation, leading to a flight to safety, away from banks and into Bitcoin and gold. This Bitcoin rally got everyone excited, with some analysts saying we're setting up for the next bull run. However, there are still too many macro-level variables that remain uncertain. March was a strong month for Bitcoin, making this a great time to get an update from pro trader Gareth Soloway. Gareth has been expecting more downside on Bitcoin as we enter a recession and equity markets break down. Despite the recent rally, he has expressed his concerns that the market is becoming too optimistic too quickly, and is not taking into account the immense pain that the economy still faces. Has anything changed in the market conditions that would make him bullish? Let's listen to Gareth as he dives into the charts to show us the levels he's watching for Bitcoin and gold. But before we do, please consider subscribing to our channel, as we bring you daily content on the latest crypto news. And now, let's jump right into the video.
Yeah, so for me, again, this is a chart where it just continues to chop sideways. Now, this could be consolidation. That's very possible, maybe even bullish consolidation. My issue still is that we still have not cleared this area here. So essentially, from the last time we talked, it was, can we get above 30,000 and can we stay above 30,000? As of now, we haven't. What we've been doing is basically playing pinball with this support here at around 26.7 and around 28.7. So look at how you're just jumping back and forth. And again, to me, this is just dead markets right now. I mean, there's not a lot going on. We're still waiting for that next bigger move to occur. And I think that's what's going to, be the determining factor here. Yeah, so I think for me, number one, just a few days ago, we tested this 26,700 level, and it actually held. So I think that's a positive. You want to see that hold. You don't want to see a break of that consolidation pattern. So I guess for me, it's looking at this and saying, okay, guys, on the upside potential, I actually am leaning towards this, maybe making another move up here to the 30,000 level. In addition, I think we have to look at the 30,000 as being a very psychologically important level for the market, right? Think about the even number, think about where this was back in 2021 when the market collapsed in between the two bull market moves. And this is all around that 30,000 level.
Bitcoin in 3 months is higher, or Bitcoin on 3 months is lower?
I would take lower. If you ask me where Bitcoin is in 2 years, I'd go long right now and I'd hold, right? So that's not an issue. I'm a huge long-term bull fan of Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies in general. But the bottom line is that you haven't broken, right? So I'm someone who's like, show me the money, show me the levels, right? And the bottom line is if you look at this chart, we're right up against this level. So as much as my heart wants to say, okay, Bitcoin race higher, as long as my gut says, oh, I hope it does, the charts are the ultimate arbiter of what I do, right? And right now we're still into resistance. So until we prove that we can break resistance, I can't turn bullish, right? It's all about probabilities. So basically, once we get above 30,000 and we close above 30,000, I'm waiting for a couple days to make sure that it stays there. And then my thesis says, okay, now the bottom has been proven that it is in on Bitcoin. All right. So I know that's what you want to get out of me. You want that so bad. And I'm willing to give it to you when the charts tell me that it's there.
You watch Bitcoin dominance. Is that one of the charts that you look at?
I do pay attention to it. Again, when it comes to trading in general, I don't focus too much on it, but it's interesting to watch, especially when we're going through a U.S. banking crisis and a European banking crisis. So it makes sense, right? That you have money from a banking sector where all of a sudden it reinforces why there's a need for cryptocurrency and specifically Bitcoin, that money is going to rotate into Bitcoin. And so it makes sense during a banking crisis that you're going to see Bitcoin dominance gain. Yeah, so right off the bat, you definitely have, so there's a resistance point right here, right? So that's look at where we currently are and look at where price is, right? It's right into resistance. So you're into resistance on the Bitcoin dominance chart right here. That's again a beautiful, I mean, that is a beautiful trend line. I actually haven't seen this one before. Just saw it as I was pulling this up. But that to me tells me that we're consolidating just underneath it. It's still resistance. Can it break out? That's going to be the big question. But right now it's into resistance. You would say, okay, it's due for a pullback until it breaks.
We have seen recent efforts from the BRICS nations to move away from the US dollar as a settlement currency and towards the Chinese yuan. Does Gareth believe there is a real risk that the dollar is no longer going to be the king of currencies?
Yeah, so for years I've said that China wants to be the reserve currency of the world, and I think this is just one step in that direction. The biggest thing for me is that type of movement is going to take years to happen. So it is starting. You're absolutely right. It is starting 100%, but it's just going to take a while for it to actually gain traction. So this is again, it's another reason to own gold. It's another reason to own Bitcoin on the long term. If you have that long-term outlook, then this is where you want to be. Absolutely. Well, listen, bottom line is this, it's just an alternative. It's one more way to protect yourself. So, I'm a big believer in diversification. I know you are too, right? You never put all your eggs in one basket. That's how we get in trouble. So again, you have some Bitcoin for the long term. You have a little gold for the long term. If you think about it, Bitcoin is still controllable by governments, and that's my biggest concern, right? So again, if I have my money in Coinbase and the government comes in and shuts down Coinbase and locks it down, how do I get my Bitcoin out, right? There are other ways, obviously, but with gold, if I have a physical piece of gold in my hand, I can go anywhere in the world with that gold and I can do what I got to do. So again, I think you have to just look at it and diversify across the board. Gold's chart has a short-term breakout. It's still headed for double top here. I think, again, you're going to see gold well above 2,100 by year end, maybe even 2,300.
Right now, it seems like Bitcoin is following gold, as people want to be out of the dollar and the US banking system. Does Gareth still maintain his position that in 3 months, gold will be up but Bitcoin will be down?
So for me, it's more of looking at the equity markets. And I think the next sell in Bitcoin will come from issues like economic recession in the US, where we see the stock market collapse substantially, right? And so you're going to see another 25% down in the S&P 500, let's say in the second half of 2023. And that will just panic people into selling. Unfortunately, you're going to get this bleed through into other risk assets where Bitcoin also sells off when that does happen. And again, remember, you have margin, right? So people that are invested in stocks, they're going to get margin calls. They're going to say, oh, well, I don't want to sell my stocks and take that loss, so let me sell a little Bitcoin and bring that money into the stock portfolio. I think, honestly, that's what we're going to see. We're going to see kind of a secondary. It's not going to be Bitcoin related. It's not like Bitcoin has an issue. It's going to be more of a panic in the overall equity markets that will bleed into crypto.
Bitcoin is facing a major resistance at the psychological level of $30,000. Gareth believes Bitcoin is due for a pullback until it breaks that level. Where do you think Bitcoin will go first? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to give us a like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. This is Let's Talk Crypto, and we'll see you in the next video.